Teacher becoming a sexual assault victim inside a prison. The woman was helping to educate inmates, but instead she found herself in a helpless situation. Her attacker was a 20-year-old inmate named Jacob Harvey, a convicted rapist. Investigative reporter Wendy Halloran with the serious questions being posed about staff safety at that prison.
In my opinion, this employee and many others like her are put at risk daily during their tour of duty or job assignment because of the remoteness of their assignments inside classrooms or offices and no cameras in those vital areas.
The female teacher was working alone in a classroom in the Meadows unit when she was attacked by 20-year-old Jacob Harvey. Carl Torsbins is the former deputy warden of the sex offender yard called Meadows Unit at the prison in Florence, precisely where this attack happened.
But I have information that she was unable to get to the phone at the beginning, but that her radio was in the possession of another inmate trying to help her by calling for help on the radio. The bad thing was the radio was on the wrong channel for Meadows, and the call went to another unit, went unnoticed for a significant amount of time.
According to this memo from Director Charles Ryan to staff, the inmate assaulted her with an ink pen and raped her. After the attack, she was able to get to a phone and called for help. Staff members took her attacker into custody. The inmates housed here, Torsbin says, are predatory in nature, known to pick out someone who is vulnerable, stalk them, and attack. He says the reduction of staff on these open yards has made working there very dangerous for all staff members.
The Department of Corrections has been procrastinating a basic training, self-protection training course that includes the use of chemical agents or mace and the proper use of such, but it's been delayed and not implemented yet. Maybe now they will do it.
Now, in an internal memo, Director Ryan warns his staff by writing, "This is the second serious assault in a week," and he reminds them to remain vigilant of their surroundings when dealing with inmates. A spokesman for the Department of Corrections is claiming that the Meadows unit was fully staffed at the time of the assault.
In my 25 years plus as a criminal justice professional, I've had the privilege of helping developing and shaping various aspects of officer safety programs. When I look at how this situation was handled, I'm appalled by the fact that it was initiated with a mere memo that was unclear in direction and content. So I think it defeats the purpose of what the agency has decided to do as a result of this sexual assault on a teacher. The memo itself is unclear, ambiguous, and doesn't really give any guidance or leadership on the issue at hand, which is staff safety. We need to remember that poor training results in confusion. It also results in more dangerous conditions. If administrators who develop safety programs do not clearly define what the duties and functions of staff are, the staff themselves will define that purpose or their purpose. Remember, corrections is a risky business. And remember that organizations must ensure that their policies and procedures and training ensure the safety of all involved in the daily operation of the corrections department. What are our priorities? The need for an employee officer safety program should never be questioned. A concern for staff safety is not an argument for enforcement versus social work. Both can be done. It is also based on the quality of work. The assurance the staff are given all the tools they need to carry out their daily task effectively, otherwise they're being set up for failure. Responsibilities. Administrators have responsibilities to protect staff. Employees must receive training consistent with the needs of their respective job classifications. The training should meet minimum requirements as established by the curriculum lesson plan in the Corrections Academy, statewide, not vary from institution to institution. Staff should know the rules. Staff should know what the policy on use of force is before they are given the responsibility to carry OC mace as a tool of use of force. I don't think this was adequately done. I think the training was inconsistent and abbreviated, and shortcuts were taken. There were no lesson plans, and they were done by handwritten notes. DO 804 for Arizona is very specific, and staff should have passed it around and read it and discussed it. Not everybody in the class were former COs. So poor training causes confusion, and confusion at a time there's a threat level will cause a disaster. It's been done and experienced so many times. Was enough done? No. It was not adequate training. They need to show a minimum of video of how OC works and what the side effects are and what reasons and justifications are in place on the policy that allows the use of OC chemical spray agents. What are the consequences? You already know. The department order is clear. There's no doubt about that. It's a good department order. But when you don't read it, when you don't study it, when you don't discuss it, it's null and void. It just becomes another piece of paper that's put aside, unless they take the time to read it on their own time, which in this case may still leave confusion on interpretation. Why wasn't it reviewed? And why wasn't it discussed in class? It's applicable to all institutional staff who are authorized to carry weapons, including OC chemical spray agents, in the performance of their duty. It doesn't make any sense. The training was incomplete in content for staff to understand, and is a formula and unfortunately a setup for disaster. Thank you as always. I appreciate the fact that you're taking the time to read this and listen to this. And remember, legislators, you carry the responsibility of public safety. As always, be safe.